When people think about Nassau BOCES, they often focus on the students we serve in our schools. But on any day, in every school in Nassau County, Nassau BOCES is there. We are in the classrooms, providing iPads, laptops, smart boards, and other technology, and showing teachers how to use this technology to improve student achievement. We are on the athletic fields, providing referees and scheduling games. We are on the school buses, helping districts reduce their transportation costs. We are in the cafeterias, providing the software that districts use to run their lunch programs. We are in the administrative offices, helping districts save money on a variety of purchases, from desks and chairs to calculators and fitness equipment. We are in school libraries, helping students access even more resources. We are district-wide, helping administrators develop comprehensive safety plans to ensure that students are kept as safe as possible every day. We are in the gymnasiums and auditoriums, providing artists, musicians, and other presenters. We are completely wired throughout the county, running one of the largest fiber optic networks in the nation so that districts can save on internet and phone services. We are outdoors, providing hands-on learning experiences. We are in students' homes and hospitals, providing virtual tutoring and online courses. We are in the neighborhood, providing specialized schools for high school students and adults who want to learn a trade, students whose passions lead them to a career in the arts, adults who want to learn English or pass their high school equivalency exams. And yes, we are there making sure that even the most fragile students with special needs have the right program to help them thrive.
Get to know us!
Hi, my name is Anthony Steiner and I attend CCA in Barry Tech. Before I came to BOCES, I couldn't speak until I was 5 years old. My parents had to find all different types of speech teacher try to help me out. Of course now I can talk a lot today, so my parents try to tell me to shush. So BOCES has pretty much helped me my whole life growing up. My favorite thing about CCA is the staff and the students. They have just a really great personality and a great vibe. That feels like you're warmed and welcome. CCA pretty much gave me prepared me for what to expect at Barry Tech, meeting new people and different teachers. At Barry Tech, I received the National Technical Honor Society, and I've been on the honor roll every semester. And it's pretty much a big step in my life because I really never received an award that big before, and it's pretty much going to help my future, and I'm excited.
Hi, my name is Charles, and I'm a junior at CCA BOCES. I attended Willard Avenue and CCA. My favorite part about Willard Avenue was the cafe, because I got to cook things there and to sell stuff and to make money. They told me how to use the cash register. My favorite part of CCA are the counselors and the teachers, really. Ms. Perlman said, she taught me how to use words to calm myself. Through CCA, I would talk about 4 different jobs. My favorite is the Nassau Community College job. We stock shelves in the nest. It's a food kitchen for all the poor people. I think I make the world better. I work hard, I'm patient. I care about people. I like meeting people and meeting new friends. Every student has a reason to be here. But there's only one reason why you're here in the first place. Because you're special. And when you're special, that makes you unique. You need an environment that can help you. Like BOCES.
Hi, my name is Nicholas Salvatore, and I am a senior in the early college high school program at Nassau BOCES. I started my journey through Nassau BOCES a little towards the end of 8th grade, and I've been in it ever since. I attended Willard Avenue Middle School. Willard was really where I started to form into the person that I am today. I did a lot of things looking for attention and stuff, and they fixed that. Not so much fixed it, but they helped me fix myself and really realize my full potential and who I could be and who I could mold into, and I fit that role pretty perfectly, and it's all because of them. Moving from Willett to Iris Wolfson was a big transition because it really was starting to move into the further stages of being mature, becoming an adult. The process of coming to the early college program was a little strange. It was more up and down because when they first did the presentation, I did not want to go. And eventually I started to change my mind. I was like, maybe it could be good. And then I was like, nah, I'm more comfortable here. I don't want to step out of my comfort zone, But that's what it's all about. It's stepping out of your comfort zone. They teach you that at Nassau BOCES. They teach you how to make decisions for yourself and how to leave that comfort zone and really develop as a person. So eventually I did learn about all the academic benefits of coming here, and I did make that choice, and it was just the perfect fit for me. I'm perfect here. The early college program has prepared me for going to the college, to actual full-time college next year really well. I mean, it's like getting your feet wet almost, It's like trying to jump head first into a pool from a 25-foot diving board is pretty scary. Jumping in from a 15-foot diving board, that's not too scary. That's kind of what this is, because you're kind of getting a taste of what the college is like. Like, you know, when I first came here, I had no clue how college works. Now I have a pretty okay idea of what goes on, what they require from you, what they expect, and next year I'll be ahead of the game. I feel like the idea of being a psychologist started before BOCES, but it was just a little sprout. It was just a seed, like, you know. Once I came to Nassau BOCES, they watered that seed and it just grew and grew and it kept on growing. And they've got me motivated, and this is definitely what I want to do. I have such a passion for it, you know. I live with my mom now, and I'm taking the role of the man of the house. It's me, my mom, my 2 younger sisters, and I have to look out for them. You know, they're my girls, and I love them all, and I'm always there to protect them. And it's very hard, and coming to BOCES really does teach you all about, like, you know, what life is and how to deal with certain life situations, because it's not only academic in BOCES, it's all about being a better person.
Integrated academics has been going on here at Barry Tech for many, many years. I've been here almost at the inception of it. What it is that a certified math, English, and science teachers go into the various careers and do the math, science, or English that's embedded within their careers. By doing so, the students who have the integration can then have the option, depending upon the school district's approval, to have a credit of math or a credit of science or a credit of English just by being in the career class here at Barry Tech. So if they need 3 years of math to graduate, if they only have 2 years of math in their home school, by being in a program that has integrated math, if they're in the program for 2 years, they are eligible to get their 3rd credit of math by being in the career ed program. So this is really a plus. The math integration is at a higher level, commencement level mathematics. In carpentry, we use Pythagorean theorem, geometry. I never have the kids say to me, when am I going to use this? Because we use it. We use it in the shop. We use the math in the shop. We use the math in their career. It gives them a higher level of understanding.
When I first came here to Barry Tech to learn about small engine repair, I didn't really think that math would be a part of it, but it really is a very big part of it. One of the things I really like about integrating math into my field is that I really love small engines, but sometimes it gets very complicated, and especially with all the hands-on work. And adding math to the equation, even though it's not really my thing, it sometimes simplifies what I'm learning and makes it easier.
Engine functions, transmissions, science, we do a lot of the same thing with chemical composition, coolants, for example, we could look at. And of course English, one of the biggest things would be, of course, resumes and cover letters and learning to write and get prepared for their career. Today, for example, we learned about the mathematics of gear ratios, so how combining a smaller and a larger gear can change the direction of a driven axle or parts of the transmission to make it go reverse. We've also learned that by counting the teeth and doing the proper math procedure, we can figure out what the gear ratio is. And they also learned that if they have a gear ratio that they're trying to achieve and they have one gear, they can now figure out what number of teeth they'll need on the adjacent gear to achieve that gear ratio.
Here at Barry Tech for culinary, we get to learn what we need for the kitchen, measurement cups, weighing volume, all of that stuff that you don't usually learn in your regular classroom, but things that pertain to specifically what you want to go into, like culinary arts. So I'm learning not trig, but I'm learning things that are specific and what I'll need in the kitchen instead of learning things that I won't need, having room to learn more about what I want to go into.
It's not a hobby here. Do you understand? This is a trade school.
It's different than a public school setting where you may have one class in which you do that with your art. We do this all the time across all of the arts with the entire community.
That's this brow ridge right here. It's an arch right here.
Once they get here, it's all about their craft.
Artists tend to see the world in a different light, and that can be seen as frightening and odd. And here you are encouraged, even required, to go above and beyond what is the norm.
You take all those kids who use art as their safety, put them in one place. That's magic.
You can see that they just want to create something.
They have an opportunity to really hear in a truthful way how their work is impacting others and how others are interpreting it.
I try to push myself a lot, but I guess there comes a time where you need somebody else to push too.
We're all very dedicated to helping each other out and bringing the most from the piece that we can.
Knowing that I have nothing to lose right now, knowing that I could get back up and the same people that were behind me are still gonna be behind me. So why wouldn't I do it?
Every single one of the teachers here was and still is a working artist.
And for our students, that's the world on a plate.
Our job is to empower them to find that journey, to know that their passion is not a folly. You can make a living at this. You can change lives from this. You can actually give voice to a group of people that don't have a voice through art. But you have to make the work happen for you.
They need to grab it and just go for it and never go back.
I expect a lot of my students, but I will be in your corner the whole time.
You can't find yourself if you cannot be yourself.
Nassau BOCES offers more than 40 hands-on courses for high school students and adults who want to learn a trade. Courses range from automotive and culinary to medical billing and veterinary assistant.
This is an exciting time for workers here on Long Island. Companies such as Estee Lauder are opening up production centers. Biotech firms are expanding. The Nassau Hub will offer hundreds of jobs just in the construction phase alone. Those who are unemployed or underemployed have a tremendous opportunity if they come in with the right attitude and just a little bit of training. That's where we, Nassau BOCES, come in. We service more than 5,000 adults and high school students every year.
There is a teaching shortage right now, so if we can cultivate them at a young age, they get to experience it, see what it's like, if it's something that they think they would enjoy doing, and we can encourage them and mentor them along, so it's wonderful.
There is a shortage for every type of worker. A 3% unemployment rate in Nassau County means that almost everybody who wants a job is working.
We already know about the traditional jobs, and we also know that from our meetings recently on infrastructure and transportation that the Long Island Railroad is going to need 1,000 track electricians alone in the future. And all of that has become automated and computerized. So the kids are going to need different skills to do those jobs. BOCES can fill that void and have those people trained up so that they're prepared to go to further training in those occupations.
We clearly are seeing a need for middle skills jobs. Those are jobs that require more than a high school diploma, yet less than a college degree. So it would be certifications or specialized training. The kinds of jobs that we would look to partner with are surgical techs, EEG techs, EKG techs, and really Nassau BOCES Adult Ed plays a vital role in ensuring that we have a pipeline into our workforce.
At Barry Tech, we work with more than 700 industry partners. They are a critical component to making sure that our programs align with current industry standards. And we know what Long Island employers want because we ask them directly.
The demand for our students is becoming so great that we've become the pipeline for the local repair shops, dealerships, and anybody else that may need a mechanic. Before they put an ad in the paper, they give us a call. Our students are prepared to work in dealerships or independent repair shops as entry-level technicians. They have basic knowledge in all 8 areas of the vehicle. We focus on maintenance and light repair.
We have a wonderful relationship with Nassau BOCES Adult Education. We actually had a meeting with the principal a couple of months ago, and we said that we have a shortage of medical office assistants and need those workers. They immediately started working on putting together a program. They asked for our input in the curriculum to make sure it was aligned with what the industry needs are. And I understand they've had 4 graduating classes from anywhere from 10 to 20 students per class, and we now have a pipeline from that program into the health system.
The future workforce of Long Island is going to look a whole lot different than the current workforce. And we need to be making sure that we're taking the necessary steps to plan for that future workforce. And it's critically important that we utilize and support our friends at Nassau BOCES, as well as our 2 community colleges, because I think that is where the best future training will take place for the workforce for tomorrow.
BOCES is already on the forefront of teaching the youth of today the skills that they need for the jobs of tomorrow, whether it's tech, any kind of career, construction, automotive, you name it. BOCES is already doing it. Let's support them, and let's take advantage of this great asset that we already have. It is the epitome of shared services.
So the question is, why are there so many high-paying jobs and people not pursuing them? It boils down to 3 S's: stigma, stigma, stigma. The stigma of not going to college, the stigma of working with your hands, the stigma of getting your hands dirty. It is time to dispel the notion that working with your hands is less than or dishonorable. We're Nassau BOCES. We are here to break that stigma.
Carman Road School in Massapequa is one of the most unique educational programs in the world. The school serves medically fragile students who live with a range of disabilities. Many of the more than 160 students began attending the school when they were just 3 years old and will stay in the program until they are 21. Roughly 80% of the students use wheelchairs, and the majority use assistive technology to communicate. In addition to providing students with a full curriculum, Carman Road School has a strong support team made up of occupational and physical therapists, mobility trainers, and other medical staff, such as one-on-one nurses for many students. More than 40 community volunteers support the classroom teachers. Teachers and staff alike believe in providing a nurturing environment that will help these students achieve their highest potentials.
I like Carman Road School because of everything.
Educators and business leaders agree. Pre-K helps children, schools, families, and our local economy.
In the market that we're in Northwell Health, there are other health systems and hospitals that are, we're all competing for kind of the same labor pool. And a lot of times people will look to relocate in an area where there is quality pre-K that's
accessible and affordable for them. So, we would feel that if this was something that was available on Long Island, it would really help us recruit top talent.
But on Long Island, only 27% of 4-year-olds have access to state-funded pre-K. And while Long Island has 14% of the state's pre-K age students, since 2011, we've only gotten 1% of new pre-K dollars. So even existing programs are not getting financial support.
Do I think if Long Island gets their fair share of funding from pre-K? The answer is no, absolutely not. I mean, we see it, as I see it in my own district and among other districts who really need, that kind of money, particularly the minority districts on Long Island. More than anybody else, they need, that additional funding to provide quality full day pre-K.
Yeah, we find that the students that come through our pre-kindergarten program do much better when they hit kindergarten and first grade.
I think it is the opportunity for us in the United States to ensure that our kids all start their very formal education on a level playing field.
Unlike New York City, which has one large school district, suburban areas like Long Island have many school districts. This makes it even harder when state funding for pre-K is not available. That's why we formed the Long Island Pre-K Initiative. It enables us to collaborate to use the resources we have efficiently and to promote high-quality programs.
The number of teachers that we were able to reach through the Long Island Pre-K Initiative, both community-based and school-based, has been unprecedented.
This is not babysitting. This is education. And that's why it's important for the providers of pre-K services to be working with the people who will eventually take over when the children get into kindergarten and first grade and on up, frankly, through graduate school.
The passion that the New York City mayor has shown and was able to negotiate to get major pre-K funding for the city or in the other big 5 districts. That should be happening universally. I don't think in one particular region, one school district or one county should be really fighting for the pre-K. Pre-K funding should happen to every single district, and the state must take this very seriously.
But until Long Island gets its fair share of state money for pre-K, we need the Long Island Pre-K Initiative to continue as a state-funded technical assistance center. This way, we can make sure that we're using every dollar as effectively as possible, that programs use best practices, and that districts who are considering starting a pre-K program get the support that they need.